What if the cage that confines you, preventing you from reaching your true potential, has no bars? What if its walls are woven from thought alone, and the key to your freedom has been in your own hand all along? This is the nature of fear, and learning to see it for what it is, an illusion, is the first step toward an unshackled life. 5 fears that limit your potential. Fear Trap, Stoic Awareness, compiled and published by Stoic Ruler. Lesson 1. The Illusion of Control. Imagine a sailor on a small vessel caught in a mighty storm. He stands at the helm, screaming at the wind to cease, commanding the waves to be still. He is filled with terror and rage, his energy spent in a furious, futile battle against the very nature of the sea. His fear is not of the storm itself, but of his powerlessness against it. This sailor is a reflection of our own inner conflict when we are gripped by the fear of losing control. The problem is that we believe our peace of mind depends on orchestrating the world around us, from the traffic on our commute to the outcomes of our most ambitious projects. The pain of this illusion is a life of chronic anxiety and frustration, a constant, exhausting war against a reality that refuses to bend to our will. The transformative solution, the very cornerstone of Stoic wisdom, is to understand and embrace the dichotomy of control. It is to learn the art of distinguishing what is ours to command from what is not. The core idea, as taught by Epictetus, is that we have absolute sovereignty over our inner world, our judgments, our intentions, our responses, but we have no true command over anything external. The weather, the economy, the actions and opinions of other people, these are the wind and the waves. The wise sailor does not waste energy commanding the storm. He focuses all his skill on captaining his ship, on trimming the sails, and on steering with a steady hand. He finds his power not in controlling the sea, but in controlling his response to it. To apply this liberating principle to your life, you must become a vigilant practitioner of mental sorting. When you feel the familiar tightness of fear and anxiety, pause and ask yourself, what element of this situation is truly within my control? Take the source of your fear and dissect it. The looming deadline is external, but the quality of your work in each hour is internal. The state of the job market is external, but the effort you put into your resume and interview preparation is internal. This constant, conscious act of sorting allows you to redirect your precious energy from the futile battle against the uncontrollable to the productive work that is yours to command. The benefit of mastering this perspective is a profound and immediate sense of peace. The crushing weight of the world lifts from your shoulders as you willingly release the impossible burden of trying to control it all. The positive transformation is from being the frantic, terrified sailor at war with the sea to becoming the calm, confident captain who can navigate any weather with grace and skill. Your call to action is to identify one major source of fear in your life right now. Take a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On one side, list every aspect of it you cannot control. On the other, list the few vital things you can. Then, resolve to focus all your energy solely on the second list. This is the continuous journey of finding freedom by letting go. This fear of losing control is often deeply intertwined with how we believe others perceive us. This leads us directly to our next great fear, the fear of judgment. To continue this journey of liberation, please subscribe to Stoic Ruler and like this video if you are ready to stop commanding the wind. Lesson 2. Fear of judgment. Imagine an actor on a grand stage, tasked with delivering a powerful and moving soliloquy. But instead of focusing on his lines and embodying his character, his eyes dart frantically across the audience. He is obsessed with every cough, every whisper, every shifting posture. He interprets a frown in the third row as a verdict on his talent, a yawn in the 10th as a sign of his failure. His performance becomes hesitant, inauthentic, and weak. This actor is a mirror of our inner conflict when we are paralyzed by the fear of judgment. The problem is that by making the opinions of others the measure of our worth, we hand over the keys to our self-esteem to an anonymous, ever-shifting crowd. The pain of this fear is a life of inauthenticity, a hesitant performance where we are too afraid to speak our truth, pursue our passions, or take any risk that might invite criticism or ridicule. The transformative solution is to walk off that stage and into the audience of one, yourself. It is the Stoic discipline of anchoring your self-worth not in the fleeting applause of the crowd, but in the solid bedrock of your own character. The core idea is that the judgments of others are external events, completely outside of our control. To fear them is to fear the weather. Marcus Aurelius marveled at how we love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. The Stoic path is to reverse this. It is to value the integrity of your own actions above the perception of those actions. It is to find your applause in a clear conscience and a virtuous effort. To begin this radical act of self-liberation, you must practice living from the inside out. Before you make a decision, get into the habit of asking yourself a simple question. Am I doing this to win approval, or am I doing this because it is right? This question acts as a compass, orienting you toward your own internal values rather than external validation. Start with small acts of courage. Voice a thoughtful opinion in a meeting, even if it might be unpopular. Wear something that makes you feel good, not something you think others will approve of. Each small act of authenticity strengthens your integrity muscle and lessens the power of external judgment. The benefit of this practice is the freedom to be yourself, fully and unapologetically. You will move through the world with a new confidence, one that is not fragile and dependent, but robust and self-contained. The positive transformation is from being a nervous, people-pleasing actor to becoming the calm, deliberate author of your own life story. Your motivational practice is to identify one small area where you have been modifying your behavior out of fear of judgment. Today, make a conscious choice to act in alignment with your own values in that one area. Feel the quiet strength that comes from this simple act of self-respect. This is the continuous journey of reclaiming your own approval. The fear of being judged by others often hides an even deeper fear, the fear of our own inner world. Our next lesson will explore the fear of emotional vulnerability. To continue building your inner fortress, please comment below and subscribe to Stoic Ruler. Lesson 3. Fear of emotional vulnerability. Picture a person who lives inside an impregnable fortress. The walls are high, the moat is deep, and the drawbridge is permanently raised. No enemy can get in. They are perfectly safe from attack, from betrayal, from the pain of the outside world. But they are also a prisoner. No friends can get in either. No love, no connection, no new experiences, no grand adventures can reach them. Their safety is absolute, but their life is a sterile, grayscale existence. This is the inner conflict for those who are governed by the fear of emotional vulnerability. The problem is that in our desperate attempt to avoid the negative emotions, disappointment, heartbreak, sadness, failure, we inadvertently build a fortress that also blocks out all the emotions that make life rich and meaningful. The pain is a life of quiet desperation, a profound loneliness and emptiness that comes from having successfully defended yourself against life itself. The transformative solution is to have the courage to lower the drawbridge. It is the Stoic recognition that there are no good or bad emotions. There are only experiences. And every experience, especially the challenging ones, is an opportunity to practice virtue and build resilience. The core idea is that a life without emotional risk is a life without growth. The Stoics did not seek to eliminate emotion, but to meet it with wisdom and courage. To be hurt and to endure, to fail and to learn, to love and to risk loss. These are not signs of a life gone wrong. They are the signs of a life being fully lived. To be vulnerable is to be alive. To begin the process of lowering your drawbridge, you must start with small, calculated risks. The practice is not to fling the gates open to all, but to learn to operate the drawbridge with skill and intention. You can start by sharing a genuine feeling or a personal story with a trusted friend. You can try a new hobby or take a class where you know you will not be an expert, thus opening yourself to the possibility of feeling foolish or failing. The key is to reframe the goal. The goal is not to succeed at the hobby. The goal is to successfully experience the feeling of being a beginner. The goal is not to get a perfect response from your friend. The goal is to successfully practice the act of opening up. The benefit of this courageous practice is the return of color to your world. By allowing yourself to be vulnerable, you open the gates to deeper connection, authentic love, and the profound joy that can only be found on the other side of emotional risk. The positive transformation is from being a lonely prisoner in a safe fortress to becoming a brave adventurer, exploring the vast and beautiful landscape of a full human life. Your call to action is to choose one small act of vulnerability you can perform in the next 24 hours. Decide on it now. This is the continuous journey of choosing to live instead of merely exist. Our fear of vulnerability is often a way to avoid the great unknown that lies beyond our fortress walls. This leads us to the next great fear that limits us, the fear of uncertainty. Subscribe to our channel to learn how to navigate this essential territory. Lesson 4. Fear of uncertainty. Imagine a traveler standing at the edge of a vast, unexplored forest. In his hand, he holds a map, but the map only shows the first few feet of the trail. The rest is blank. Paralyzed by the fear of what might lie in that vast unknown, monsters, dead ends, treacherous terrain, he refuses to take a single step. He waits for a complete map, a guarantee of a safe and predictable passage. But that map will never come, and so he remains forever frozen at the trailhead, his great journey never begun. This traveler is all of us when we are in the grip of the fear of uncertainty. The inner conflict is our profound craving for certainty in a world that is by its very nature unpredictable and mysterious. The problem is that this fear keeps us trapped in the familiar, even when the familiar is no longer serving us. We wait for a perfect plan, a guaranteed outcome, or a risk-free opportunity. And in doing so, we allow our potential to wither and die at the trailhead of life. The transformative solution is to tear up the need for a map and learn to trust our ability to navigate. It is to embrace the profound Stoic concept of amor fati, not just to accept, but to love what is. This includes loving the uncertainty, embracing the mystery, and seeing the blank spaces on the map not as a threat, but as a territory of pure possibility. The core idea is that certainty is an illusion, and the future is always unwritten. The fearless individual does not need to know the destination. They trust in their own resilience and resourcefulness to handle whatever the journey may bring. They find their security not in a predictable path, but in their own steadfast inner compass. To begin building your uncertainty muscle, you must practice deliberately, stepping into the unknown in small, manageable ways. You must train yourself to be comfortable with not knowing. Take a different route on your way home from work without checking the GPS. Order something new at a restaurant without reading the reviews. Start a project before you have every single step planned out. Each of these small acts is a repetition in the gym of uncertainty. You are teaching your nervous system that the unknown is not synonymous with danger. It is simply the space where life happens. The benefit of embracing uncertainty is the unlocking of your full potential. The world opens up to you. Opportunities that were once invisible become apparent. You become adaptable, creative, and resilient, capable of thriving in any environment. The positive transformation is from being a frozen, fearful traveler waiting for a map to becoming a bold and joyful explorer, excited by the adventure of a path unwritten. Your motivational practice is to identify one decision you have been postponing because you are waiting for more certainty. Today, take one small, irreversible step toward making that decision. This is the continuous journey of learning to walk bravely into the forest. All these fears of losing control, of judgment, of vulnerability, of uncertainty are phantoms that steal our power. Our final lesson is about the ultimate act, taking that power back. If you are ready to become a fearless explorer, like this video and subscribe to Stoic Ruler. Lesson 5. Reclaiming inner authority. Imagine a magnificent kingdom that is rightfully yours. Yet you, the true king, have been living in self-imposed exile, hiding in the outer villages. In your absence, a council of squabbling, illegitimate tyrants has taken over the throne room. Their names are fear of control, fear of judgment, fear of vulnerability, and fear of uncertainty. Every decision about the kingdom is made by them, and their rule is one of constriction, stagnation, and misery. This is the inner conflict that defines a life lived in fear. The problem is that we have abdicated our own throne. We have allowed these phantom fears to become the ruling authority in our lives, dictating our choices, limiting our borders, and silencing our true voice. The pain is the deep, nagging sense that we are living a life far smaller than the one we were meant to live. A sense of being a foreigner in our own land. The transformative solution is the return of the king. It is the conscious and deliberate act of reclaiming your inner authority and re-enthroning your own reasoning mind as the sole legitimate ruler of your life. The core idea of Stoicism is that our hegemonicon, our ruling faculty of reason and choice, is the only part of us that is truly free and truly ours. Fears are merely advisors, often very loud, very persuasive, but ultimately illegitimate advisors. They have no inherent authority. The ultimate act of courage is to walk back into the throne room, thank the tyrants for their input, and calmly take your seat as the rightful ruler. To practice this reclamation of power, you must begin each day with a declaration of your sovereignty. This can be a moment of quiet meditation or a written statement in a journal. You can affirm, "My reason is my guide. My values are my law. Fear is an advisor, not a king. Today, I am the authority in my own life." When one of the fear tyrants arises during the day with its familiar demands, you can then greet it from your throne. You can acknowledge its presence. "I hear your concern about being judged," but you then make your decision based on your own royal principles. "Nevertheless, I will act with courage and authenticity, for that is my law." The benefit of this practice is the complete reordering of your inner world. A life of fear-based constriction gives way to a life of purpose-driven expansion. You will begin to make choices not to avoid pain, but to pursue virtue and growth. The positive transformation is the most profound one possible. From being a subject in a kingdom of fear to becoming the wise and benevolent sovereign of a kingdom of purpose. Your final and most important call to action is to perform this enthronement ceremony right now. Close your eyes, and in the throne room of your mind, see yourself calmly taking your seat. Feel the weight of its authority. This is your birthright. This is the continuous journey of ruling your own magnificent life. Today we have unmasked the 5 great fears that hold us captive and have learned that we hold the key to our own liberation. By releasing the illusion of control, anchoring our worth within, and embracing the fullness of life, we reclaim our inner throne. Thank you for joining this journey to conquer the fear trap. If this guide has empowered you, please like this video, share which fear you are dethroning first in the comments, and subscribe to Stoic Ruler for a life of unshakable